Hey Monarchs, it's Mr. Bryant here. I just wanted to share with you guys a way to organize your bibliography, your works cited slide, or the works cited page on your memoir to make sure that it is formatted correctly. If you remember looking at the rubric specifically asks you guys to make your works cited page into MLA format. Now, MLA format is this thing that I mentioned before. It seems like it was made up by college professors to make your life difficult. It's actually something that a lot of teachers use to cite academic sources. And since we're getting used to it, I'm going to be a little bit loose in terms of how I grade this. As long as I can tell you tried and I can tell that there was an effort put in, you probably score well on the works cited page. Shouldn't be that hard. But I'm making this tutorial to help you understand how to do it. So on your Unit 2 project assignment on Google Classroom, under the Classwork tab, I added in this website, Mybib.com, for all of you guys to be able to use in order to make your works cited a little bit easier. Now, this is something that is a lot better than the one I had shown you guys in the previous class. The other one had a lot of ads and was just kind of laggy. This one is a lot smoother. So I'm going to kind of walk you through it. And your works cited page may or may not look kind of like this, where you just have a bunch of links. And what we want to do is make it look more like this second option right here, where we can see there are slides, or all of the sources, excuse me, have been put alphabetically by author name or article name or editor name. And they're organized in a way kind of how you would find them at the back of an English paper. So we're going to start with that. And you're going to do it by using this link, this mybib.com. So I'm going to go ahead and click open this that's on your Unit 2 project. Or if you just Google search mybib.com, it should pop up right away. All right, so I have logged in for before using this website. So for me, it doesn't have a bunch of pop-up windows. For you guys, it'll show some pop-ups showing that kind of guide you through the process. I would encourage you to read those because they do kind of help you understand what steps to take. But the big thing to know is that you need to use this green button with a big plus sign that says Add Citation to add one of our sources. So I'm going to start with my first source, which is going to be this Guardian article. And you're going to want to take the URL and copy paste it. So I'm going to do right click, copy. You could also do edit, copy. Or you could hit Control C to copy, or Command C if you have a Mac to copy that URL link. Then I'm going to go back to my mybib.com. I'm going to click the green button to add citation. It'll pull up this screen that says New Citation. And you're going to want to use the website. If you use the YouTube video, I know a couple people had asked me about that. You would use that link that says, the tab that says YouTube, or sorry, excuse me, that tab that says video. Otherwise, you're just going to use this, and you're just going to copy paste it in there. So the easiest way to paste it in here is to right click and then paste, or you'll notice that you could hit Control V if you're on a PC or Command V if you're on a Mac. So I'm going to paste it in here. Okay, and I'm going to click search, and it's going to pop up. So the nice thing about this website is actually it will tell you whether your source is credible or not. And I like this because it talks about like biases and stuff like that. Something to get into maybe in a future lesson. But The Guardian is a newspaper, so it's a fairly credible source. Okay, and it's called Black Spartacus: The Epic Life of Toussaint Louverture Review. So I'm going to click that. And ideally, this is what you should get. It doesn't stop you or anything like that. It has the article's author name. It has the title. It has the URL. The date that you accessed it, the name of this news source, all that stuff, okay? And what it said, you'll notice that as you click each section, it will give you little hints about them, first and last name, all that stuff. And anything that you're concerned about or that it is concerned about will pop up in yellow. So it has suggestions for this. It says the article "the" should not be capitalized unless it is part of a noun, name, or entity. The word review should most likely be capitalized. The word M dash should most likely be capitalized. The word superb should most likely be capitalized. And the word history should most likely be capitalized. Now you could click the little fix button and it'll just do it for you. That's the cool thing. So just click, 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 okay? Or there's a fix all button. It's great. It's very helpful, okay? It's also kind of a long title, right? But it's okay. And all you're gonna do is, one thing I will note is that it's actually not the observer, it's the guardian. Like if I go here, right? This is, oh, it's because the observer, you know what? Mr. Bryant was wrong. Learning moment, guys. The Observer is the name of the section of the Guardian newspaper that talks about history books, okay, or books in general. So we can just use that because that's the one they're giving us. It seems to be like that's the version, like that's the section of the newspaper, and I'm cool with that. Okay, so we'll do the Observer. I'm going to click the button that says Save. Now, I had a student just in third period that had an issue with the Save button not working. If it does not work, hey, use this preview and just click and drag, and you can copy it straight from there and click copy, okay? If it does let you do it, then I would click save. All right, so I have it saved, and look, it keeps my source right here. Now I'm gonna do the next one. And I'm going to do, let's go with right here. I'm gonna use the second one, blackpast.org, which is this website right here, which is a website that focuses on Black narratives across history. And I'm going to copy and paste this URL, or I can do it from my slide. So I'm copying it using the keyboard shortcut just to make it quicker. I'm clicking Add Citation, and I'm pasting my URL, my link, directly in there, and then clicking Search again. And look, it's got it. It's got the author's name, the year, etc. This is probably credible. All right. Contains vital pieces of information to make it credible. Couldn't verify the quality of the publisher. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's good. It's a decent source. I'm gonna go ahead and click the just click the link, or click the article, and it pulls up this. And look, I can see it didn't give me any yellow. No yellow at all. So again, if it doesn't let you click the save button for whatever reason, copy paste this from here using right click or the Control C. But I don't have that issue on mine. So I'm just going to go ahead and look at it, make sure there's no yellow. I'm good. I can click save. And one thing I want you to note, look how it put the McNally in front of Thompson. It automatically sorted it alphabetically for me so you don't have to later, which is super helpful. Okay, that's great. That's what I like to see. So that way I don't have to worry about it later. All right, so let's do my next source. My next source was from Biography.com. All right, so I'm going to Biography.com onto Toussaint Louverture. I'm copying my URL. I'm going back to Mybib.com, and I'm clicking again that green button for Add Citation, and I'm going to paste it in there, Biography.com. Click Search. Proceed with caution. Here's the thing. A lot of you guys are using Biography.com. I'm okay with it for this assignment because it's not a super academic paper or anything like that. And this is our first time using these MLA formats in this class. And they're saying it because Biography.com has stuff about like celebrities and things like that. So that's why it's saying it might be a gossip style publication and articles might not be credible. We're not looking up famous celebrities from 2020. We're looking up someone from the 1800s. I think we're okay. But you know, you never know. Or excuse me, late 1700s. But it's okay for this assignment. Don't stress about it if it gives you some warning like that, unless it's like bright red and it feels like, I don't know, you're just using some like random internet forum with people arguing about them. All right, so I'm gonna click yes. I'm gonna click okay, or not okay. I'm just gonna click through to it, and right away, look how this is different. It doesn't have doesn't have the name of the author here. Instead, it has Biography.com editors. Some news sources don't have the author listed. And you'll notice that even down here on our preview, it doesn't have the author's name. It says Biography.com editors instead, right? But everything else looks good. And that looks good too. It's been checked as green. And one thing I'll tell you is that sometimes it might not prompt this for you. So if I go here, right? Say, for example, it didn't show me the name or the name of the author, and I had to go look for it just to double check. Authors' names are usually at the top or the bottom of a website. So I look right here. There's no author's name. I scroll to the bottom. And Biography.com and some other websites people have been using, like History for History Channel, have a lot of the citation information at the bottom. And it says author Biography.com editors. So if for some reason it didn't give you the name of the author, if it left it blank for you, you could just copy paste it in there or type it in yourself. If you want to change this from an organization to the person, to an author, you would click that and click it to the little head. So it shows a little person's face, and then you could do the first and last name. We're going to keep it how it was, though, with the organization as Biography.com editors. All right. And then we're good to go. I'm going to click save one more time. And again, look, it put it at the beginning because biography, the B comes before M and T. It's alphabetical. And even though it's not a name, it still sorts it alphabetically. So this says Biography.com as the editors. It's like the title of the people. We don't know who exactly they were, but we know that they were editors for the website, and it puts it there. Okay, last source is from slaveryandremembrance.org. Okay, so that's this website right here, which is from the Colonial Williamsburg, which is a foundation on the East Coast that runs this like old colonial town. And so they have some history. This is their section about slavery and talking about people that were enslaved during the 1700s, or not just the 1700s, but during that time period of the transatlantic slave trade, and trying to tell more of their stories. So I'm going to go to mybib.com. Again, I'm adding a citation, and I'm going to paste it in there and search. Okay, proceed with caution. We couldn't find any authors for this document. Check the source yourself for authors that may have been missed. If the publisher is recognizable, then it's probably still okay to use. Sometimes websites just don't have an author listed, and that just happens. Colonial Williamsburg is pretty trusted in terms of like being a historical site with historical access to like real stories, and as well as like recreations of things that are historically accurate. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to click that. We couldn't detect the web page author. Some of you might have gotten this right away when you try to do this. The nice thing is that it warns you and then tells you, hey, please check the source. Does it have a web page author? And then it asks you to push yes or no. I'm going to click source to go take me to the link. There's no author at the top. I don't see an author at the bottom. I can see that it's made by, at the bottom, my head is kind of covering it, but it says Colonial Williamsburg Foundation at the bottom, copyright 2020. So I don't have an author. So I'm just going to click no. And then look, it leaves a space for the author in case I figure it out, but some of you guys are not going to be able to find an author name. And I'm going to tell you now, this is the first time we've done this. I'm not being too stressed about it. If you can't find the author name, just leave it blank. It's okay. If it says like editor, you could put editor, and it doesn't even have to say like biography.com editors. You could just put editor. That's totally fine. We're going to leave it blank because some of you are going to have it like that. But if you notice, everything else is fine. So I'm going to click save. And then look, it put it at the bottom because it's put T, Toussaint comes after Thompson. It's all alphabetical. And look, it has a warning that there's no web page author. That's really helpful. Now, the cool thing is I can take these, and if I click one of these individually, one of these little checkboxes, you'll see these little buttons appear. You're going to want to use this one that says copy selected bibliography entries. If you click that, it will copy the citation and you can paste it directly into your slides. I am going to make my life easier, and I'm going to click this top one to check all of them off, or you could just check them off individually. And then I'm going to click it again to copy literally all of my citations. I'm going to click it. It copied it. Now I go back over here to my slides. I don't need any of these anymore. I have all my sources. Delete. And then I'm going to hit right click, paste. Look at that. It put it all in alphabetical order, formatted correctly for me. I don't have to worry about it, and you're done with your Works Cited page. That's it. That's all you got to do. So if it might look a little wonky because some of these website titles are long, but that's normal. If you need any more help, I'm going to go over it in each of your classes. So periods 1, 2, and 3, I already went over it with you. Periods 6 and 7, I'm going to go with it over it with you tomorrow. And then if you need any help at all, please don't hesitate to reach out via email. And I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving break. If I don't see you before then, stay safe, make smart choices. Bye, Monarchs.